All right, let's just jump right in. For the past, 30 years, we've surfed the internet, we've scrolled it, we've clicked our way through it. But what if the next step isn't something you just browse, but a place you can actually, live in? Some experts are even calling this the human digital migration. I mean, think about that. A huge shift into a shared, three-dimensional virtual space that's always on.
So, is that really what's happening? Are we all packing our digital bags and moving to a new world? And, if we are, what's that world even going to look like? To try and get to the bottom of this, we're going to lean on this fantastic report from the UN's International Telecommunication Union, the ITU. They brought together a whole bunch of global experts to really map out this new frontier.
Before we can even start to talk about the good and the bad, we have to figure out what we're actually talking about. And here's the thing, this is your first clue that we're in totally new territory. Even the experts, the people building this stuff, don't really have one single solid definition for it yet.
I really like this first definition. Dr. Arabas sees it as the spatial evolution of the web. So it's not some completely alien thing. It's the internet we already know and use every day, but with a new dimension, space. It's the jump from a flat 2D world of websites and profiles to these immersive 3D environments you can move around in.
Now here's a totally different take on it from digital artist Sebastian Duval. This is less about the technology itself and way more about us. He suggests the metaverse is a new tool, maybe like a new canvas, that helps expand what it even means to be human. It's a way to stretch our senses and our experiences way beyond the physical world.
And this one just hits the nail on the head when it comes to the uncertainty of it all. The mayor of Las Rosas in Spain compares it to the internet in its infancy. Remember those early days of dial-up with all the screeching sounds? Yeah, back then nobody could have predicted social media or smartphones or this world where we're always connected. He's basically saying the metaverse is at that same super early stage, just brimming with potential we can't even imagine yet. And to really get where we're going, it helps to know where we've been. So, super quick history lesson. The internet basically started around 1969 with what we now call Web 1.0. It was pretty static, a read-only kind of digital library. Then, around 2004, with giants like Facebook showing up, we entered Web 2.0, the read-write web, where suddenly we were all creating the content. And now, the metaverse is showing up as a huge part of Web 3.0, the read-write-own era, which promises a decentralized, spatial, and user-owned internet. Okay, so let's be real. Is this all just a bunch of hype? A buzzword that'll be gone in a year? Just a flash in the pan? Or is there actually something real, something substantial happening here? Well, if money talks, it is absolutely screaming about the metaverse. According to expert Dr. Jane Thomason, we're not talking about some niche little hobby. We're talking about an estimated $13 trillion market opportunity by the year 2030. A number that big suggests a massive economic shift is already happening right under our noses. And if you're still a little skeptical, just look at the world of gaming. Seriously. For years now, these huge multiplayer games have pretty much been proto-metaverses. They have everything. Custom avatars, really complex social groups, and these booming virtual economies where people buy and sell digital stuff for actual, real-world money. This isn't some far-off future concept, it's a multi-billion-dollar reality, right now. So, if we accept that this is happening, what's the best-case scenario look like? Let's dive into the optimistic vision, all the ways experts think the metaverse could completely revolutionize our world, for the better.
The experts from the ITU report see just incredible potential pretty much everywhere. In education, imagine taking an immersive field trip to ancient Rome, right from your classroom, in the middle of nowhere. For the economy, entirely new jobs in virtual marketplaces. For social connection, actually feeling present with loved ones who are thousands of miles away. It could even mean new kinds of accessibility for people with disabilities, or letting us, check out a vacation spot before we book the flight.
This quote from Federica Morici just perfectly captures that hopeful spirit. The idea that this tech could tear down the barriers of cost and geography to deliver a world-class education to anyone, anywhere? Wow, that's a really powerful and, frankly, profoundly hopeful vision for what our future could be.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, with every incredible promise, there is a serious peril. For every utopian dream, there is a dystopian nightmare. And the same experts who see all that potential are also deeply, deeply aware of the massive risks if we build this new world carelessly.
And let's be clear, these are not small risks. We're talking about insane levels of data collection, tracking our every glance, our every gesture.
The digital divide could become a giant chasm, separating people from reality itself. The potential for addiction and mental health problems in these super immersive worlds is very real, and so are new, frankly terrifying forms of cybercrime, harassment, and misinformation spreading inside these powerful, virtual echo chambers.
And look, this isn't just some abstract threat. Policy analyst Emilia Zalaveska-Chajcinska gives this chillingly specific example. When you use VR, you set up a safety line in your room so you don't run into a wall. Well, a simple hack to just move that virtual line could have very real, very painful physical results. It's just a stark reminder that the wall between the virtual and the physical can be dangerously, dangerously thin.
So, you have the promise and you have the peril, a potential utopia and a potential dystopia. The biggest takeaway from that whole ITU report is that neither one of these futures is guaranteed. The metaverse isn't something that's just going to happen to us. It's something that we are all actively building right now with every single choice we make.
So how do we push things towards the promise and away from the peril? Well, the experts all pretty much agreed on a game plan. First, this can't be built by one company or one country. It demands international collaboration. Second, we have to develop joint standards for how these different worlds work together. And third, and this is so important, we have to be deliberate about closing the gaps in access and infrastructure, so this new world doesn't just copy and magnify the inequalities of our current one. And that leaves us with this final massive question. This is not just a technical problem for a bunch of developers in Silicon Valley to figure out. It's a societal one, for all of us. As we start to migrate into this new digital world, it forces us to ask, who gets to be the architect? Who is going to write the constitution for this new reality? And what role are you going to play in it?